Last year was the best year we've ever had, and it's just the two of us.
Step into the light, let's take a look around. Got the keys to your dreams, let's break it down from the roof to the floor. This house has a story. Real estate secrets, let's uncover the truth. Element inspection would guide you, move to element inspection. We'll show you the way to find your perfect home. Come join us today.
All right, guys, today I got Seth Mills. He is a Keller Williams DPR agent, and we're going to have a conversation today regarding a team he built and then dismantled and why his life is significantly better now.
It is so much better. Thanks for having me, Lewis.
Absolutely.
Really good to be here with you.
Sure. So tell me, let's start with that. Let's just jump into that. You've been in real estate for a while. You grew a team, and then you decided it wasn't for you, brought it down, and you're having some of the best years of your life.
Yeah. We had our biggest year last year, despite it's just my wife and I now. And I say it's just the two of us. Really, she does all of the field work, save just a couple of clients each year. I work with Keller Williams on the leadership side quite a bit, so it consumes a lot of my calendar. So she's really real estate Wonder Woman, if you will. So 22, market shifted, and we've been through this before in 2020. My wife and I have been in real estate together in some form. She's been an appraiser for 24 years. In 2020, we saw the market shake up, and it's March, and we're like, I don't know if it's going to be months before we make something happen. What are we going to do to pay the bills? And it was in that moment we decided it wasn't enough to triple down or double down. We decided to triple down on the business and do what we do well and look to grow what we did well. And so in 22, when the market shifted, we did the exact same thing. And in 2020, it worked. She was still appraising, and I was on the sales side. That's when our neighborhood business really flourished and came to life. And in 22, when the market slowed and interest rates peaked, we're going to need more sellers. We're going to need to service our buyers at a higher level. And so I asked our team members at the time to start prospecting at a really high level. It just didn't happen. They just didn't keep the same pace, the same sense of urgency, which makes sense because
It's not their business.
yeah, right. It's a business that we had invested years in building, and they were along for the ride. They were just along for the ride. So we found our separate ways. Wonderful people, just in this phase in our careers, we weren't meant to work together, and I'm okay with that. It increased the quality in our business, though.
How many team members did you have? And we're talking about a real estate team, so it's you as the head, and then multiple agents underneath you. How many agents did you have on that team?
Yeah, at the time, everyone was licensed. We had 6 licensed agents in total.
All right. And then
Some administrative positions, some sales positions.
Sure. But you grew a team, and you came to find out that you had better work-life balance, or just generally enjoyed what you did better when it was just you and your wife rather than trying to run a team? Because I've seen this happen with multiple agents where they grow a big business, maybe them and the wives, maybe one other person. And what happens inevitably is, like, I need to grow. They get team members, and exactly as you said, they tend to be like, oh, I'm part of Seth's team now. Leads are just going to funnel into me, and he's going to give them to me and take a percentage, and I'm just smooth sailing. And I've seen that multiple times over. Was that a similar case for you?
It was a pretty similar case. This has allowed us, so I am all for leverage in business, and I think scaling through people is the very greatest way that you can grow a business.
Of course.
I really, truly believe that. And that investment in people, like any investment, should produce multiples on the backside, and it just wasn't happening. And so we reclaimed that profitability and chose to reinvest a lot of that in our business, chose to redefine some of our systems. And because it was fewer people touching the transactions, we got to really choose what kind of quality, what kind of care. In that time, my wife, Jocelyn, went from kind of a back-end operator to a front-facing agent. This was March, really it's only been 2 years since she's been working in the field. And that changed everything dramatically. Sometimes it's just the right person. And so in this case, it was scale again through people. It was just someone that we already had part of the business, putting them in the right role, seeing her flourish. That took me out of the field and out of really the sales department almost entirely, put me on the back end. I've been equipped with a lot of training from Keller Williams as far as how to build systems. And so started to systematize the things that I saw her doing really, really well. And as she executed and delivered this luxury level experience, more people wanted to have that same experience.
Right.
So it was a really organic growth through that process.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. I've seen it happen time and time again, exactly as you're saying it. And it's, I often wonder, is it just the industry? Is it the certain people that are attracted to the industry? What is it that creates that repeatable dynamic over and over? And I don't know if you have insight as to why that happens so often in real estate, but
Why people grow big teams
and then shrink back
and
down.
then redefine.
Yeah.
Well, I think entrepreneurs in general, when we break through ceilings, is because we've done something well and we found a way to systematize it, right? So a lot of times it's based on a person, what a person's done well. And then when you scale through other people, they may not be able to carry that same mission at that time at least, because whoever started it and did it well and scaled it may not be the person that knows how to equip others with it.
Okay.
That was me at the time. So there were things that I did well. I didn't know how to multiply that through other people as well. And I think it's really this, we talk about going from entrepreneurial to purposeful. We do some things naturally, but we're going to hit a ceiling of achievement. And unless we
There are the glass ceilings over, and you can see where you want to go, but you hit this ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time we hit it, it's no surprise. It feels surprising, but then we hit it again, and now we feel like something's wrong with us.
Right, yeah, no, we have that in our business all the time. We get to a certain dollar amount of people, and we're like, well, frustration. Then you figure it out. But
Yeah.
do you think now, I mean, you've been training people, you're in the leadership training, you are much better equipped. Do you think not that you want to, but do you think if you went out and tried it again, you would be more successful at training the people?
Yes.
Or would you be able to pick people better?
I think both.
Yeah. Because hiring is, it's like people that flip houses. You make money when you buy the house.
Right.
Right? You don't make
When
it on
you
the
go in.
back end. It's when you buy the house is
Yep.
when you made your money. Same thing with people. I've found that hire is how you really got to make sure they fit the peg that you drilled for them.
Right.
They have to be really good for that position.
Yeah, slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yeah.
And the way we learn that best is through the mistakes.
Always.
The mishires, or we hired the right person, but we didn't onboard them correctly. And so the result wasn't what we expected. We steered into another course at some point. So I think there are three problems that we solve for when we're looking for the right person. First, is it the right person? Is there a cultural fit? Second, is there a skill set fit? And then third, do they have a passion for what they're going to be doing specifically? Like, is the role that they're assigned and they're equipped to do a fit for where they are in their life at that moment?
And I know Keller Williams is very good at drawing that out as to how to find those people. Because I know people that have been hired at Keller Williams go through a great deal of testing, essentially, before they get their job.
Yeah. We use a process called career visioning. And so it's much less just a question of can you do the job. It's a matter of you've lived your entire life and professional career up to this point. Where are you heading next? And if I can understand where you're heading in 3 years and 5 years and 20 years and what you want your life to be like, it's a little bit easier to see, is this next step, is this role in alignment with what you want for yourself?
That's a good point, honestly, because you want to know where they want to be in 5 years. Is this someone that's going to hang out for 18 months, or are they going to be with us for 5 to 10 years?
And if it's a high capacity individual and I've got 18 months of high productivity with them, I may be okay with it, knowing that this is the right step for them, but they're probably taking another big leap, and long term it's not going to be an arrangement. It might be worth it. Other folks, I might see that I'm going to invest a ton of resources just in getting them equipped. And if I lose them in 18 months, I've got to start this process all over again. It's not worth it.
What's one of your favorite questions when interviewing that is not a standard interview question? Something that's a little bit off. I like 2 questions that I ask. Give me an example of the best customer service you ever got. And then another question I ask, and I say, don't lie, this is not going to affect whether I hire you or not. This is going to affect how I communicate with you. Do you make your bed no days a week, 5 days a week, every day of the week, no matter what? What is your bed making schedule? It has no bearing on whether I hire you or not. It gives me a lot of insight as to how and when to communicate with you.
I love it. That's the context that allows you to be a better leader. That's great. So I think the question depends on the person that I'm working with, but the big thing, I want to understand their thought process and their mindset. How do they approach life in general? Because their disposition toward any problem is going to tell me a lot about their disposition toward the problems that I hand them and the problems they encounter.
Right.
I want to understand, are they naturally a problem solver? Are they
a pessimist and sit in the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pessimism, sometimes that is skepticism, which is it's a wonderful business skill, or discernment, which is a wonderful business skill, but it shows up as pessimism. And that's in someone's chosen mindset. So their brain's wired a certain way, but it influences their emotions. So logic makes us think, but emotion makes us act. And so I'd like to see how they navigate that transition and how they interpret the logic around them into their emotional state. That's a big thing.
And you can place them in the business better when you understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. And provide the right environment for them. Even if they're in the same role, as you said, it's going to determine the way I communicate with them. It's going to determine the things that I equip them with.
Yeah.
So the other side of it, I really want to know what someone's aspirations are. Like, what are they working on now that they see leading toward a future achievement, success, something like that? Because if I can show them how they can achieve that by working with me, then it's a natural alignment.
Every time I've seen you, you're dressed well.
Thanks.
How much do you think that plays into, maybe not hiring, but how much does that play into an agent's success? Because I know some agents that show up, the girls show up after working out in the leggings and a t-shirt, and they're in the office, and you're like, it's not, someone wants to spend $500,000 with you. I'd prefer to see a skirt rather than...
Yeah, I've sold homes. Our neighborhood our business is very much neighborhood driven, and so I've had calls while I was sitting or standing in the pool with the family. Hey, I see the sign here. I'd like to see the home. I'm like, this may not be the way you want to meet with me, but I can be there in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I show up in board shorts and I just throw on a shirt.
That's not a first impression, though.
If that's a first impression, that's the only impression I get. But sometimes time is of the essence, so we just jump to it. But that's something that I couldn't really control in that moment. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to enjoy it. I can, however, control the way I present myself in the rest of my life. And the way I see it is this: we have the opportunity, in theory, to do business with everybody, or to be in friendship with everybody. And there are certain things that count someone out of those who we actually will create a relationship with, whether business or personal. They don't live in the right area, right? So my likelihood of building a friendship with somebody in New York is kind of slim just because of location. So when I get to the people that I come across day to day, I've already whittled down almost all the people in the world. I just have these impressions. And so if I can eliminate variables or stabilize my chances of actually getting to deeper conversation, if I can just dress professionally, there might be a chance that they listen or lean in a little bit more or are eager to meet, because I don't know.
I've noticed it with younger agents, the ones that want to be taken seriously but don't necessarily, they don't have enough gray hairs, or they don't, like, their voice is still cracking, right? Those guys, if they change their appearance, all of a sudden I notice that they get taken more seriously for sure.
Yeah. I think a lot of that's just in self-confidence.
Yeah.
If we're dressed to be successful, then we have...
You feel it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's also the identity we've chosen. I've chosen to be a successful person today. And when I look in the mirror, I can see the decision I made to dress a certain way that's in alignment with the successful identity that I choose. I don't need that as evidence, but it sure helps.
It helps
I can
a
be
lot.
successful otherwise.
We have dress codes at all my businesses, and in the inspection business, the clean cut. You're not wearing hoodies, tattoos are not shown. Everyone's wearing the same polo. You pick a pair of black pants that fits you best, and we want our guys to show up the same way every time. So whether you're getting a Brandon or Adam, they're both looking approximately the same way with the same professionalism. So you're not getting one of the guys that's got all tatted up, which whether you mind it or not, there's a certain amount of the population that would be like, oh my God.
Yep.
So we just have a very straight, cut forward, this is the dress code, you have to follow this. It's yes sir, no ma'am professionalism that needs to be on every single job site that we go to. And it's just a standard that I set, but I also don't show up wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, it creates consistency. People
does.
know what to expect. And when you can create consistency, even in appearance, and I think it goes into everything else, we treat our listings the same way. Can we make all of our listings shine? I mean, we'll take some lease listings on at a loss because we spend a bunch of money on media and we don't make that much money in return. And yet, I wish for every prospective seller or landlord to
They're
know.
seeing the way you treat everybody.
Yeah, it's
the
stabilizing the
standard.
experience.
It's the standard, yeah.
You're going to wonder a lot of things, but you're not going to wonder how your home is going to look
Right,
if you
you're
choose
always
to
going to
hire us.
know, when I'm going with you, it's professional.
Yeah.
This is the way it looks every time.
Right.
Yeah, no, that has a lot of value, and that also, like this that we're doing right now, whether you used element inspection or not, your peers will see that you were on the Element Inspection podcast.
I hope so.
Yeah, it brings awareness, and they're like, man, 5 or 6 agents in my office have all gone and seen and hung out with Lewis and done a podcast with him, and then they just start asking you about me, and it creates buzz. So even if this does not transpire into a business transaction in the future, it's like no news is bad news, right? Same thing. People see me, they see the logo, they see everything, and it's just this constant reminder that I'm active.
Right.
And like we discussed earlier, this is a give back to you guys. We'll collaborate with you on Instagram and Facebook and post you everywhere and make sure that people know you're a professional agent. You should call Seth. I mean, there's all these things that help you out.
Yeah.
And it just, generally speaking, every single agent that comes on here, same thing with you, gets treated the exact same way. You get 2 to 3 reels, you get the full horizontal YouTube, all the tags, and so you're getting some value out of it, I hope.
Yeah.
But every agent gets the exact same experience. Some agents use us 25 times, some use us 0. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's about time we were in business together.
Yeah.
And I think this was going to happen regardless, because I look at my peers and there are people that I trust and respect that trust and respect you. Mm-hmm. And I would hope the same for my peers and the agents that I work with in coaching to see, hey, look, there's trust and respect here between you and I. They can leverage some trust
It's
towards you
huge.
as well.
And you coach a lot, right?
Yeah, we've got a little over 100 agents in our productivity program.
That you're coaching them regularly, you're a mentor to them.
8 a.m. on Zoom, Monday through Thursday. Tuesday, we've got 4 hours in the classroom. Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings, once a month. And then I'll probably have 30 calls or messages by the time we finish this conversation. Just from different people.
Yeah.
We've got a very productive environment, a very productive group of agents. And so I position myself to be a problem solver for them when they don't know how to solve the problem. Maybe a glue that helps keep their self-confidence together at times.
Yeah.
I know I needed people like myself when I was a new agent, and so I wish to pay that forward to other people.
I know a lot of team leads that do take on that role very seriously. A good friend of mine, he's at a different brokerage, but he's got this great speech about, because you are an agent. How do you make yourself a partner, not a vendor? Because everybody knows 10 agents.
Yeah.
And they all think of them as vendors. What do? They provide a service, and I pay them for their service. So how do you bring more value? How do you make yourself a partner? And he's got this great speech on it. And then he brings it into, you're a resource for people. They call you and they go, hey, I need a gutter guy.
Yeah.
Right? You're the connector. You're the answer. You're kind of that middle piece between someone's home and what they need for their home. And he said one of the best ways to truly become a partner, and so they're constantly calling you and always thinking about you, is to have a vetted list of not just vendors, but people that you partner with. So instead of saying, oh yeah, I got 3 mortgage guys, you call them all up, you figure out the one you want. No, I've partnered with a specific mortgage loan originator. I'm friends with him. He's going to take care of you. If you don't use him, just hear him out. He's going to explain how the process should work. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, I got 3 guys, pick one. It's, here's the guy that I trust. And so all of a sudden you become this connector, and people start getting trust in you, just the way you said earlier. People that you trust me.
Yeah.
And that binds everybody. So the individual agent, if they now become a service provider with their known partners, it's less of a transaction, more of a partnership between them and whoever's buying the house or selling the house.
I love that concept. So we all carry a brand with us,
Yeah.
and the brand is not the logo, it's not the business name, it's not a slogan, it's our reputation. It's what do people know us as, and so we wish to have a vision for what that is, and hopefully you want to be in business with me because of what I stand for and what we're creating together. So then once we are, is it a transactional experience where this is not about the relationship, it's about the success we get to create together on this, and then it's done, or can we redefine that success beyond the transaction? What are all the different elements in their life that we can show up and provide value with?
Definitely.
Where we're not going to get paid for 90% of the work that we do for people, for households, for our past clients, for neighborhoods, communities, business owners. And yet, if I can do that 90% of work at no charge, then I can trust that I'll be very, very well paid when there's something that we're going to get paid on.
Well, that, and they're always thinking about you.
Yeah.
So they're always going to say, if one of their friends says, "Do you know a good mover?" You'd be like, "Man, we used this company that was great, but I can't remember. Let me call my agent real quick."
Yeah.
And it just, you're always top of mind. So then they go, "Well, who's your agent?" "I got a better agent.
Yeah.
He took care of me from start to finish. Not one thing was left for me to figure out. He knew exactly how to get me from one house to the other. And I didn't have to do anything. And he guided me through it with people that he trusted."
Well, and that agent couldn't have done it on their own.
No.
So they've got to have a network of trusted resources, knowing that they're going to deliver the same consistent experience that people expect when they engage with this brand.
Yeah, because you're kind of associating. When you give someone the name of a mover, if they screw it up, they call you and they're like, "Dude, those movers were crap. Why would you even recommend them?"
I had it with a fencer recently.
Yeah.
It's somebody that builds fences. He does an incredible quality product. I've seen it time and time again. People love him, and he's
Yeah.
affordable. And
He screws up one time.
yeah, I mean, the concrete was poured short in where the fence, and so the fence blew over. And I received a call the same day that he received a call. It's an extension of our reputation.
It is. Yeah. You got to be careful who you pick.
Yeah, and well, not just because people make mistakes.
Sure.
And yet, are we committed enough to the experience that we'll own our mistakes, we'll do what we can to correct it? It's the lasting experience. Again, defining it beyond the transaction. We had something, we brought it to what we thought was a close, but it's never really done because we want to keep the relationship alive and continue providing that experience.
I think that's great. Well, I don't want to take all your time. I've been here for probably 20, 30 minutes already. So we'll end it there, but I very much appreciate you coming on.
Thank you,
That's
Lewis.
really good insight. We're going to put all Seth's information down in the description below. Email, text him, call him, or if you need a good mentor, give him a shout as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.